Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily, then distribute it everywhere, and even earn money. We like that. All in one place for totally free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your cellular telephone or your computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else, those other places that podcasts are heard.
Video podcasts are also available on Spotify, and when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, Q&As and polls are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's totally free, zero catch. We've been using it ever since we started How Long Gone. And ever since I discovered Spotify for Podcasters, I feel like having the option of turning off the Q&As and the polls on the user dashboard has really helped boost my creativity and take it to another level. I highly recommend giving it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. Chris Black, what up, loser?
Oh, Jason, God, man, my nails are bit down to the ends. You know, I'm stressed out. I just ate an entire pizza. I haven't showered in 3 days. I can't stop watching cable news. How do you feel?
Damn, you're listing all the things that you wish you could be doing, but you're a cuck, so you won't. I'm actually eating pizzas. I'm actually not showering. Come fuck with the boy.
I'm actually, no, like a normal human being, I'm going about my day and checking in on twitter.com when I need a little hit of news. And you know what, Jason? Mm-hmm. You know, collectively as a country, it's looking like we're not very good at counting.
Well, I mean, they said the whole entire time that because of the mail-in ballots that it could take days, if not weeks, to count all the millions and millions of ballots that people send in. I'm sure there's still ballot. I mean, and also every state is different from state to state. Some.
Well, thank you, Jason. Did you major in poli-sci in college?
Ooh, Testy Black over here. Testy Black needs to. He didn't do his headspace yet, but you know, like some states will allow like up to like 3 days after, like with the postmarking on it or something like that. Like there's a lot of there's like probably envelopes that haven't even been opened yet. You know what I mean?
It's like the checks in my mailbox. I can't even keep up. They got so many coming in. You know what I'm saying? All my residuals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but but they warned everyone. They told everybody, hey, this is going to take. It could take weeks, and then if it takes more than 3 hours, everyone's like, what the fuck?
Much like counting, we're also not good at being patient. So, you know, it's a 1-2 punch to the gut from America.
Yeah, but I mean, it is also, you know, conversely a very good point of like we have figured out how to automate everything, and everything, like I hit a button and, you know, I transfer, you know, I could send anything to anyone. You know, it could be $10,000, it could be a hat, it could be unemployment, it could be, you know, a new cell phone. Like everything. This is 2020, for God's sakes. Like it shouldn't be this archaic. Like when people go and vote, it looks like the voting area that you walk into, it looks like you're going on an airplane that was built in 1978. You know, when you get the old, I mean, it only happens on like a shitty airline like Delta or something, but you know, like an airline that has
we know you're JetBlue, Hive. We know you're JetBlue because you like to fly to, like, you know, Portland and Dominican Republic. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, at least on a JetBlue flight, the plane was built during a time when I was actually alive. You know, but I'm saying, okay, let's.
Do you do it for the snacks? Be honest. Do you just like those weird chips? Do you like the Terra chips?
Look, I mean, I like a Terra chip a hell of a lot more than just like a bag of pretzels that was made.
Biscoff? Don't come for the Delta logo embossed Biscoff.
There's a difference between the party fiesta mix and a Biscoff. A Biscoff, I make love to the Biscoff. I can make
gross.
I can make two Bizzies last. You know.
TJ, I'll tongue down a busy in business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I will tongue down a busy in business. From here to Denver, I'll do 3 hours and 19-minute flight. And brother, I'm going crumb by crumb with that busy.
We call that busy lingus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, boys they talk about glizzies. No. A real gentleman eats a Biscoff.
Biscoff.
I love a Biscoff, but also the other problem is when I get a Biscoff, I want to eat it with a cup of tea that has a lot of milk in it for some reason. Like it feels very British to do that.
Totally, man.
But the chances of me sipping hot tea with milk on an airplane ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, that's smart.
Anyone who drinks coffee on the flight is unless you're like Steve Aoki, it's a full freak move.
Is that somebody who would a Biscoff be something that you dipped into a coffee? Is that something people would do?
Yeah. Biscoff is just that's just a biscotti for like people in jail, It's just
yeah, because the airplane is just jail in the air. That's a good point, actually, TJ.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Jail air.
We were talking about our crumbling society. I think before we talked about.
I was talking
Biscoff.
about like when you go and vote in person, like people posted, or like we saw a picture that Kanye posted of him, and it looked like he was filling out the immigration form, on the tray table of an A20, an A24 of a shitty airplane built in 1978.
To be fair, he was voting in Wyoming.
Yeah.
It's like they don't have technology. They don't have computers.
Yeah, but it's not like when you go and vote in like fucking, a metropolitan area, like LA or New York. It's not like they're like, oh, so do you want sparkling or flat when you show? It's still like jailhouse, like all like full trash shit going on.
Well, Jason, that's because Republicans like you don't want to pay more taxes, and that's the issue, and that's why we can't do that. And I think that's a whole other podcast if you want to get into it. But
don't you? I'm more concerned. Careful what you wish for card, Republican black.
I just can't wait till Biden wins so that social media goes back to some sort of normalcy. People can have a sense of humor again. People aren't talking about stress eating or taking walks or taking some time for yourself. Like how pussy are you guys? Like how pussy are you that for 3 days you can't pay attention to something?
Well,
like it's crazy.
I mean, I think it's more of the problem is they can't stop paying attention to it because for a lot of people, this charade that we call American politics is very serious to them, and it could greatly affect their lives. Luckily, we are privileged enough to not really have it affect our lives, though. So I just want to give a shout out to all of our listeners who could be, impacted greatly by
no one that listens. Down. No one that listens to this podcast is impacted greatly by anything that's happening right now.
Yeah, we gotta meme that up for Twitch. If your ceiling looks like this, don't worry about Biden's tax plan. Like, fellas, if your iPhone looks like this and it's just playing this show, you don't have to worry about Biden's tax plan.
That's a good idea, actually, because that's true. But I mean, I've of course been glued to the World Wide Web like always, and as usual, I'm Teflon to this bullshit, and I just I just keep laughing through it. Tej,
right.
Am I wrong for that?
In many ways, yes. In many ways, no. I'm very similar to you, where I also use humor to as a distraction, to as a means of slogging your way through, this unexplainable hell that we call our lives.
You also, though, you use the Pacquiao to do that. I only have used Natty Wine to do that, the edibles, you know what I mean? All I have is humor.
I could do it raw dog, though. But yeah, that's a good point. All you do have is humor, and I have freaking tangerine, La Croix, and vodkas to calm me down.
Mixy. I love them. But actually, Jason, I was just on Domain Wines LA making some purchases for tonight.
Bro, I tell you what, this man Chris Black, he buys more natural wine than I do. That's how you know he's a true gentleman. That's how you know he is a sartorial style star. He shows up. You don't even have to wonder if the Tom Brown kilt is going to be pressed and fitted because it already is. It's starched down, and you know that he's showing up with a tasteful bottle of wine, and he ain't going to take a single sip of that. And you also know that if the wine doesn't get drunken, he's not taking it home. He's leaving it there.
That's the cheapest shit on earth. Do people really do that?
I mean, do that? People in their 20s, yeah. But you can't be doing that after the age of... I guess that is a rule that needs to be said. It's a little unspoken, and if you're doing that, you get a pass if you do it once, but never... You should correct that after So
twice. When you show up at somebody's house with a half-drank bottle of Smirnoff, do you take it home, or do you leave?
No. The rule is it has to be unopened.
Okay.
The same rule applies to a DUI situation. If you have a open container, no. That's it. It's out of my hands. But if it is a closed container, and if the person absolutely insists, like, oh no, I don't like Kahlua, just take it. I'm just gonna throw it away anyway. Then,
I really
don't
love that. I don't like this. So just take it. Get it out of here. Get it out of my face. No, but I was doing some stress shopping at Domain Wines LA. So, I'm just getting it out. I'm just getting it out. Like I need an outlet,
Also, speaking of, we have a guest on our show today who is a NBA star. So we're just really broadening the horizons. But really quick before we get into that, this is late breaking social media news. Earlier this morning, you posted a picture of the Julian and Nikolai from The Strokes, a vintage pic saying, this is them jeans and Chris Black, back in the old days. And somebody was like, which one is which? And then you said, oh, of course, I'm Julian. And then yes. I actually replied with photographic evidence.
I don't know.
And I would like you to just take a gander at that.
I don't know if I saw that.
I literally got it in right before we hit record.
Woo! Damn. Okay, bro. You can be Julian then. That's fine, fam. What the fuck is going on here?
This is during 2001 when the Strokes came out. This is what my ass was looking like. Bro,
I'm not talking about you. I've seen your dumbass. Who are these chicks, and are they midgets?
Oh, these are just some Melrose punkers that were like, "Damn, you're tall. Can we take a pic?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." This is back when I still lived in Orange County, and it'd just be like, what do you guys want to do? And we're like, do you want to just like drive to LA and like walk around Melrose and like see like if there's different places we could smoke cigarettes at? And that was it.
I mean,
and this is what
cool.
I look like.
I mean, this is a great picture too, because those girls are the perfect, this is a great, there's so many, you look cool actually. And the two girls look like they got off their shift at Hot Topic in Orange County and drove to Melrose to do the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah. I think the girl on the right is wearing an X-Ray Specs shirt.
Yes, which is a classic band shirt that I don't know if anyone's actually listened to the music. You know what I mean? It's not very good. It's not very good.
It's not very good.
Wow, thank you, Jason. That's actually really funny. And you do look like a wonkier somehow version of Julian who already looks wonky, but the hair is on point.
Yeah, we learned that some people they are attracted to a wonky looking man,
It's true. Well, I would rather be Fab anyway. He just wasn't in the cool picture, so.
I mean, yeah, Fab is cute for you. Short kings are important in this world as well.
Fab is the best looking member of the Strokes, I would say. Who's aged the best, to be honest.
It's Julian. It's going to be Julian because he's oozing the swagoo.
He looks like a divorced donkey with a park on. He just doesn't look great.
I feel like I don't listen to. I've never heard the Joe Budden podcast, but I feel like you stole that diss from.
No, I did not.
Joe Budden.
No. But we're gonna have Joe Budden on the show. But anyway,
you stole that from Charlemagne. This is the divorced donkey of the week.
No, I pulled that shit off my dome, bro.
Okay, well done, Chris.
We do have a big celebrity athlete guest today, and Jason and I obviously huge sports fans, so this is really important for us. But his name is Channing Frye. He has a podcast.
Not to be confused with Nomi Frye. We'll save it and see, if they are actually blood relatives.
He has a podcast. He has two podcasts. One about the Blazers, who he used to play for, and another podcast called Road Trippin', with Turner Sports. He's apparently Emmy nominated for some shit, which we'll have to get into. He won an NBA championship, and he also has a wine business, which I think I will obviously want to get into, because Jason's looking to pivot to the grapes as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wine. I mean, it's in my blood. It's in my DNA. I mean, it's literally in my blood right now. I'm gone off the Gruner.
I also want to ask Channing if he thinks Jason is wasting his life by choosing to be a podcaster instead of an athlete with his gifts from God.
Well, wasting or wasted, because I think I might be a little out of my prime, considering that you and I are both older than he is, and he has like played on.
Wait, how old is he?
He's like 37. Like God
damn it.
No, like nothing will make anyone feel older than talking to athletes. They're like, oh yeah, like I mean, we're about to interview a man who is younger than us, has like 4 kids, has been in like movies, TV, has his own business. He was on like 7 different NBA teams. He's like homies with LeBron, and he is absolutely younger than us. So we're both fuck ups.
We're losers, bro. We're fucking losers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's call Channing and get him to tell us we're losers. That's my kink.
Let's fry this daddy up.
Do you live in Cali?
No, I live in Portland.
Oh, okay, okay.
Damn, so
it's too much of a hassle, man. Everything's a hassle.
Like, what is a hassle in California?
Getting
Taxes?
From the beach to where shit is going on, from the beach to West Hollywood is an hour and 15 minutes.
That's true. I can't even lie. You can't. There's no debating that, Jason.
Right.
That's true.
Let's say I want $1 million house. $1 million house out here in Portland, your shit is cracking. $1 million house in California is like, you may have a fridge. Right?
No, you're right. You're right. That's true.
And that's just me, right?
But you lived in Portland for a long time, though, haven't you?
Long time, yeah. So it wasn't always like this. So Portland, I don't know what they did. Trump just pokes on Portland, and he be pissing everybody off. Dude. It's funny because it's not half as bad as what people think it is, but it's also not half as good. So,
Well, you guys just legalized drugs there, right? Everything.
Yeah. Everything.
Because, so do you think Steve Nash is going to move there soon? Because he likes to play with that white, is what I heard.
Dude, I'll be honest. Listen, I don't know that. I played with my man. I don't know if Mr. Stevie is into the white, but I know the white nowadays has taken over. The white has taken over.
Well, we're still talking about cocaine. We're just talking about white people.
No. White people, y'all never let go. Okay. Yeah, cocaine is crazy. Maybe it was just younger, like college days. You see like a couple here and there's do it. Nowadays, people be like, it used to be like, okay, you go to a room to get beer, you go to a room to get a joint, and then people be sneaking that shit on the side. Nowadays, it's like there's a whole separate room for every type of drug you need nowadays. Maybe it's because I've been in the league.
Where'd you go to college?
Arizona.
Okay. So the Arizona, there's a lot of co-eds there, but I don't know what the coke vibe is in Arizona. Chris, do you know?
Ooh,
I think Arizona, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it like the #1 party school in America? It
was, and then West Virginia, for obvious reasons, turned into that. They've got nothing there.
Actually, what are the obvious reasons that West Virginia turned into that? Because I'm not sure I know. Because I've been there, and there's nobody that I want to fuck there.
That's the point. It's like if you're at West Virginia, you like fuck it. Like this is as good as it gets.
Yeah, West Virginia, a hole is a hole.
Arizona, Arizona seems like a pretty good place to go to college. I feel like overall it's a pretty good place to go to college.
If you like the college experience, so I'm from, I grew up in Arizona. I'm originally from New York. My parents from New York. So like going to Arizona.
That's a big fucking difference.
Awesome for me because you get that college experience, right? It wasn't a big town. And so we were just vibing. And it's a basketball school. And you get people from New York, Texas, California, and everyone's there just to have a good time. It's all frats, sports, and people who just want to go to pool parties on a Tuesday.
That does sound pretty good at 18, 19.
Yo, man, listen, living.
So then, and also you were like, oh, here's Channing. He's the guy from New York City. He's the New York guy. So when you show up in the town, everyone's like, damn, I'm from fucking Fresno. I'm from Tucson. This man is the coolest person I've ever met.
No. So I moved out of New York early. I just say I was born in New York. To be honest, I've been in Phoenix. So I'm really a Phoenix guy, right? Phoenix has changed because everyone from LA, when they can't afford their rent, they come over to LA. And the same from Vegas. So Arizona is a mini baby of LA and Vegas. And there's like good parts about it, but then there's like parts like, hey, yo, like there's so many, we used to call them $30,000 millionaires, guys who would rent cars to go to the clubs. You're like, dude, nobody sees your car inside the club. Like,
What's the point? Well, I mean,
you're leaving it here anyways.
you can get big. You can get a big house for cheap, though, right? That's part of the appeal. And the weather's nice year round.
Yeah, dude, big house for cheap. And then one thing about Arizona, there's always something to do, right? You got the Waste Management Open, Super Bowl. You got spring training. You got the Cardinals, the Suns, the Coyotes. So there's always
there's year round.
You got meth, all kinds of shit popping out there.
Yes, yeah, for sure. There's some spots now. Listen, look, I'm not gonna lie. There's some spots that are shady, but
I just went to Sedona like a month ago. What do you think about Sedona?
Were you on peyote the whole time?
I was on mushrooms.
Oh, then you must have had a great time because Sedona, growing up, used to be like kind of old folks, hippies. Now that whole generation's gone out there, but low key, I fuck with it. Yeah. I like that vibe. You know, I dig sometimes with all this kind of shit going on in the world. You got to take a step out and just admire beauty. Go do what you got to do, whether that's a glass of wine, a bag of shrooms, or just a fat joint. Like, you got to just figure out a way to decompress your brain sometimes, man. Listen, shit.
I'm very interested in Arizona, Jason. I think Sedona could be for me.
I think Sedona is definitely for you. It's a bunch of white people and they're living good. They're like all the houses have like kind of like unique character to them. They have like has like that cool Spanish architecture going on. They got a Whole Foods. They got the blue McDonald's. What else do you need, bro?
That's honestly, you just named. I mean, that's really my shit. All of that is my shit.
And also, everyone there's traffic circles everywhere. Everyone's old. They drive real slow, which is good for you. Not good for me. I like to really haul ass. Do you feel the same way, Chang?
You know what? Here and there, it just depends on where I need to go. But
is it easy to put 200 on the dash in the Hellcat when you're in Oregon?
No, hell no. Hey, listen, I do have a big ass truck, right? But I don't like driving fast like that, man. Listen, I used to, and then I was like, man, what? Just be on time.
You got kids. It's a whole thing.
How many dumb sports cars have you bought in your life, though?
Low key, I mean, here's what saved me, but sort of didn't. I'm 7 foot. I don't fit in a lot of cars. I love cars. I've always wanted a Ferrari, but lucky for me, they don't fit dudes over.
That ain't happening.
Right, that ain't happening, right? And then I'm not like, I like to drive. If I'm gonna buy a car like that, I'm driving that thing down the coast, right? I want to put some miles on it. Right? Because, listen, you work hard. I feel like, people who buy nice things but don't wear it, I don't understand that.
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah, I agree.
Point, right? Show me, I think what's great about this new NBA culture, and I'll get back to the cars, is like when guys have nice things, is not really a flaunt. It's more like, hey, I think you would like this too. Or at least the guys I fuck with are like, hey, yo, I found this, Audemars from, 1993 that had only been worn twice. So we're like, oh shit, where'd you get that? What's the, history behind that? I think NBA culture has become way more well-rounded because anybody can have a chain. Anybody can have a nice house, depending on what you like.
This is what I tell Jason all the time when he's trying to go to see Ben Baller. I'm like, bro, anybody can get a chain, Jason. Relax. We're going to Icebox,
So what we're saying, because of the internet, I think because of the resale culture and all that stuff, people are starting to look at these exuberant purchases as investments and not just like, I'm gonna get like a T-Pain chain that's gonna cost me $300,000, and in 1 week it's gonna be like in the garbage can. They're gonna be like, all right, the Audemars, the value of it is gonna increase as I'll give it to my kids. I think that's a positive sign because a lot of people have wasted their that NBA baggie.
Well, athletes aren't known for spending money wisely. That's not their number one kind of takeaway.
Yeah, because you kind of don't, because you could spend it not wisely and still kind of be good, and that's the beauty of it. Yeah, unless you really fuck it up.
Well, put it this way, like everybody says athletes don't take care of their money wisely, but athletes are the only people that have their salaries put on blast every single year.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Think about how many businesses go up and down, and somebody goes, "Oh, I tried to do this startup. We got fucked in bankruptcy." But no, that's not on a new newspaper, right?
Mm-hmm. No, good point.
Guy who has a high school education, who really didn't even go to high school to learn. He went to high school to make millions.
Yeah.
He made those millions, and now he's relying on people who haven't seen $1 million in their lifetime, nor will they, trying to take care of that lifestyle based on what they think is right. So, like, that type of, I would say that type of look, you have to reverse that and say, hey, like, if I was on their side, they had $1 million, and then they're going to continue to try to do the best they can. But where are they investing in? They don't have that infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
Because that 18-year-old goes from being
it's crazy
to being the head of the family for everybody because he's the rocket that got him out of the ship or out of the atmosphere. So it's crazy when you think about the culture of
because you get this money. I mean, you get this money young, and then what you're saying is you're expected to support basically your whole family and friends until you can't anymore.
Yes and no. It depends on your infrastructure, right? Do both your parents work, right? Yeah. Because I know a lot of guys, one parent works and one parent takes the kid to practice at 6 a.m, rebounds for them, picks them up from school.
The whole thing. It's a full-time job for the parent.
It has to be, right? Because at the end of the day, nobody is more, I would say, promoted than athletes, right? You don't see people with commercials for Gatorade that are doctors or teachers, right? So
that's just boring as fuck.
Yeah. Parents who are not educated for the most part, or even white kids, black kids, European kids. Think about in Europe, kids go to school to play sports. Right? Kids go to school to become professional athletes.
Meaning like the education portion of it is not thinly veiled like it is in America.
No. I also have to say that's a part of the college. Yes, you can, Margot. Oh my God, my daughter. Margot, no. Do something with Hendrix. Girl, I'm doing business.
Is Hendrix named after the rapper Future Hendrix or Jimi Hendrix?
No. Jimmy.
That's a hard no. Okay, that's fine.
Come on, man. Yeah. Big Jimi Hendrix fan, man. My dad was. I am. And just music in general. I think I played all types of instruments growing up. And
damn, my man can tickle the keys?
No, not tickle the keys. My mother made me play an instrument, so I played the trumpet until I got braces, and then basically had to play like a mini tuba. But
all right, so you chose the two instruments that get you the most pussy of all time.
No, dog. Listen, the alto sax, you're definitely slapping cheeks with that.
You're like, no, I don't want to play lead guitar. I want to play the mini tuba.
That's so funny.
You were getting a couple looks.
How did you have time? So which one of your parents was taking you to practice and rebounding for you?
Both of them. I mean, both my parents worked. And then what they would do is they would pick me up. They would take their lunch break when I was done with work and drop me off at a gym. And just, I ended up creating relationships with obviously other guys my age. Yeah. We would go, and then their parents would give me a ride home, or I would go home. I would ride my bike home, and then in 100-degree weather, just go shoot for 2 or 3 hours. And I wasn't really that good until the year of high school. So all my options were on the table. That's why my mom was like, learn how to play an instrument, be in
I see.
Was in a play, so they were like.
She's trying to get you to diversify as much as you can.
Diversify, exactly.
Because a lot of kids know. I feel like, I could be wrong, but it seems like some people, it's like you're 13. It's like they know you got it, and it's going to happen for you, and they just start put you in the system. You're saying for you, it was junior year of high school before you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, well, dude, it was my junior year of college before I thought I was going to make it to the league. I just kept growing. So for me, my parents were like, listen, if you keep grinding, something good's going to happen. So my goal was to get a college scholarship.
Okay, I see.
And then my dad was always like, my mom worked for NBC in Phoenix. So she used to work for the news station. So she was like, listen, you need to sound intelligent when you talk because you have intelligent thoughts. So they used to have me practice doing stuff like that. And then
great advice.
Reading different books. I had to go to museums all the time. I had to be in art camps. So for me, my parents were like, do all this because all this is art. Like your game is an art. Their painting is an art. The music is an art.
Damn.
So
that's really good advice. That's a great way to be raised.
So I appreciate things. I think, this last summer I went to, or 2 summers ago, I went to Paris or France, right, for my retirement. And then last summer I ended up getting to go to China. And they are so far apart from each other, but you respect the history and the culture and the art. And I don't know if you would if you didn't care about that kind of stuff.
No, of course. Yeah. You only retired 2 years ago?
Yeah. 37. Retired when I was, 37. Yeah.
How's the body feel, bro? How
I
we
feel
feel?
great, dude. My goal was to make cheese and make sure I never have to work again if I don't want to. Win a championship and walk away from the game. Walk away. Don't have me begging for a job. And I just said, you know what? This year's enough for me. And luckily, I didn't have to play the year with COVID. So that was
right.
Damn,
you didn't have to be in
dodged
the
a
bubble.
bullet. You dodged a bullet.
I went out on my terms. I loved it. I love the guys. I still fuck with the guys to this day that were my friends. And it's hard to make friends in the league because, we all trying to eat off the same table. But the guys that I've been best friends with for 4 or 5 years now, some 10, some 12. And Steve is one of those guys, same with Grant Hill. Those dudes are classy dudes. Those dudes are just into different stuff and they're successful everywhere they go. So, they kind of mentored me on doing this kind of stuff.
That's amazing. Well, I wanted to talk to you about tall stuff because this is actually a tall man podcast.
Here we go.
Yeah.
This is the first time where a guest has ever been taller than us.
Oh shit!
Because Chris is 6'4", I'm 6'9".
Ooh, here we go, big fella.
All right, so walk me through your fashion game.
Depends on where I'm at, right? I think everything is appropriate. To be honest, I'm a comfort guy. My dad, my guy Mark and my brother, they lived in Williamsburg. They grew up together, and Mark is really into fashion. And my brother sort of tries to be in fashion, but it's kind of he's funny about it. And he's 6'2",
sounds like me.
7 foot, right?
Yeah. So
my fashion game is do I have to dress up? All right, let me make sure my fit is all right.
But normally are you a shorts man or are you a pants man?
No, dude, pants. I would rather wear pants all day, every day, right? And a t-shirt on top. I don't need people to see my ankles and my knees.
Okay,
right?
But isn't it hard to find pants that are popping that are going to fit you? What's the inseam? What's the inseam?
Sure. But sometimes you got to doctor it up though, right? Even if your jeans are kind of shitty, you just got to put fly ass kicks on, nice little watch, and maybe accessorize with a chain, whatever it is. Hey, listen, you got to work with what you got to work with. So for me, it's pick my lane. I've been a Nike athlete since I was 16, so I'm always going to try to stay with some fresh kicks, right? Appropriate kicks for where we go, but.
And luckily, Nike makes a lot of shoes in your size. What shoe size are you?
If you don't 17, 18, 16 in a dress shoe. But
we need to get so Channing, if you could, we need to get Jason some help because he's having a tough time. He can't find these 17s. He might need some of your hand me down.
My guys out here. It's the name of the shoe store. It's called oddballshoes.com. They make 13 through 22. You can get
Frye, don't worry. I'm already an oddball influencer. They already sent me the pack. It's I'm wearing the socks right now, King. Don't even trip.
Those are my dudes, man. Those are my guys. Those are
cool.
Genuinely awesome human beings. They're funny as shit.
So when you have to dress up, do you have the suit? I mean, you got the custom made, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. When I got to wear suits, I'll tell you this. I'm a big Xenia guy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, me too. Xenia makes good tall shit. My girlfriend found it.
Right, but I've also had shitty suits that were expensive. But like when you get a suit dry clean once or twice and it still looks just as good, right? That's the quality of the clothes. And I shift weight whether I'm playing or not playing. I can go from 280 to 245, right? All in one in maybe a year or two. So for me, my tailor out here is great, like keeping it like slim and trim, and they'll constantly upgrade you. But Zenya's the best. When I think Kim Jones was doing a lot of stuff with Louis.
Yeah.
Man, listen, I tried to buy as much shit. I got a pea coat, a couple of jackets, a Letterman jacket. I really like his shit because even when I'm 45, 50, I'll be like, yo, this shit is still fly because it's classic.
No, that
Timeless
was his best.
pieces.
That was his best era. That was his best era.
So all we got to do as Tall Kings is just buy literally the most expensive clothing you can buy, just some Xenia and some Louis, and it's going to be all good.
No, you know what? I think for me, it's about your vibe. If you're about that life every single day, be about it. If not, you don't feel no pressure to have to put all them damn logos on you. Like, go find somebody who's going to make you some fly shit. Like, that's the one thing I hate about these young kids nowadays. You don't have to have name brand shit all the time. Like, get you a t-shirt that makes you feel fly. League
Fits would say different. The tunnel, the tunnel would say something different.
But I think guys,
that's all marketing though. That's all marketing. They're like, why? If you're a big brand company, you're sending them free gear
for sure,
right? Because that way you're getting you would have to pay hundreds of $1,000s for a commercial. One player like LeBron has 75 million views when he posts a picture. Why do you think he tags where he gets his shit from?
For sure.
This is so.
How many people?
Culture is gone to. Hey, I'll wear your stuff for a little bit. You're getting 5 million views every time I post a picture, and it lives on my page, right? I've seen these analytics. So all of a sudden, instead of big business going to TV or going to advertising, they just give free merchandise, which costs them nothing, to people that have 5, 6, 7 influencers. Everybody is an influencer, as long as you stay in your lane.
I love staying in my lane. That's one of my the best advice you can get. Jason, you could take some of that yourself.
Dude, yeah, but I mean it's crazy how social media has changed so much, man.
When you started playing, was it like Suits in the tunnel and then you changed it?
What?
Like that was it, right?
Yes, I was in New York, so I got drafted by New York my first 2 years, and it was suited and booted on the plane. So that's no lie. That means
suit on the plane.
Suit, you can't even get on the plane if you don't have a belt, a tie.
I like that.
A shirt. All 82 games. No, you don't like that.
You gotta have some now and later Gators on.
What? Oh, back in 2005, the 6-button joint suits. Oh my god, dude! I mean, I still have 2 or 3 because I like joking around. My wife, she's like, "Well, Channing, let's get ready to go somewhere nice," and I'll throw on one of them big ass suits. She's like, "Oh hell no!"
At some point you might need to be Steve Harvey for Halloween, so it's good to keep a couple of those on ice.
Man, I got a couple of flamethrowers on ice now. Yeah, that baggy, it was tough. And then it was like, Jay-Z literally dictated NBA fashion. Then he said Air Force Ones with a button up, with a Yankee fitted. That was fire. Then, the league kind of like slimmed everything down. A lot more European players started to come over. Then everything started to get real skinny and tight. And then that kind of like the Lil Wayne skater rock star thing started to mix in there, right? Where now all of a sudden, like, back in the day, we call it like alternative kids mixed with like skater kids mixed with hip hop, all meshed. And so now it became a lot of NBA players and Euro guys were looking at soccer players, how they were dressed, like David Beckham.
Yeah.
Zlatan, all those dudes. They were like, damn, their suits are suited and booted. Like, tight fitting, fit to, for classic, like James Bond. And that's when the whole league started to change. And then guys got into fashion more because they started to get accessibility. I
would say that for better or worse, NBA players are probably the most influential right now. Beyond
easy. We don't have helmets on.
Yeah, that's what I say all the time. You can see your face. But what about the jerseys? Because this shit, why are they like sleeveless T-shirts now instead of tank tops?
Yeah, because you guys got the shoulders.
Well, here's the problem. I think that was Adidas. So since I've been in the league, it was Reebok, and then Adidas had a deal, and now they're Nike. So there's no more sleeve jerseys. They cut that shit out.
Literally.
But,
Adidas always fucking it up.
I think it was a last ditch effort. A lot of people were like, well, basketball games are a little different than football games because basketball games are really like clubs from 7 to 10. Right? People go out, have pregame, they go to the game. And because the NBA game is so fast and like so continuous, right? But like acceptable breaks, people are kicking at the bar half the game.
Yeah.
So they'll buy a seat just to go to the bar. And like, even when I was with Staples Center, they going to the game, but they ain't really there at the game.
Are you saying that LA fans are a little different than in other places? What are you talking about?
LA and New York, by far the most different, because here's a small thing that other teams aren't doing. LA and New York shut the lights off around the arena, except for the first 2 rows, so that everybody can see who's in those first 2 rows. Right? So that's why
because that's where the baddest chicks are at.
Yeah. Not only those who are baddest chicks
and the baddest fellas, but I mean but also I mean compare talking about hotties only. Baseball games, football games. There's no attractive people in those stands at all. Basketball games,
it ain't.
But that's the thing. It's different. It's like a basketball game is way more intimate than baseball and football because it's inside, right? Hockey is cold. Football, basketball, or football, baseball are outside, and they're longer games. And it's just a little bit, for the lack of a better term, a little bit rougher.
Yeah.
So basketball, you can sit sideline, half court, and you're right there next to the action. You get sweating your vodka soda, someone jumping on you, spilling beer on you. And that type of intimacy is what makes basketball different. And I think that's why it's been so appealing, especially in cities like LA. You're like, well, I was at the game where Jack Nicklaus was, and then LeBron and Kobe were playing, and I was 3 rows back. And so that's like a different memory than, oh, yeah, there was a football game. It was really good. I didn't know who scored.
It was cold outside. I mean, the first time I sat in like a folding chair at the Garden, I was like, all right, this is some different shit. Like, it really is different. It's like these. Also, what blew me away and still blows me away is that it looks, you guys make it look pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? It's very graceful in this way, and it looks easy when you're that close. That really hits home. Football, that shit don't look like much to me. It just don't look like much.
Yeah.
And baseball the same. But I think I'm always impressed by the athleticism because baseball and football, they have it, but it's in a different way. It's not constant moving like you're saying. It's not.
Totally. I think basketball, like the freak athletes, right? And I'm not saying baseball doesn't have a freak athlete or 2. Aaron Judge and Mike Trout and maybe 1 or 2 other guys. But basketball is full of freaks. Like you look at JaVale McGee, right? Who people think, oh, JaVale's not that good. He's 7'1" and he's the fastest dude on the court, and he can touch his head to the rim. And
it's fucked up. Yeah, it's fucked up.
And he's vegan, which is even crazier.
Damn.
So I don't know how he's running like that off of some beans and rice. Like you look at top to bottom, the athletes and the accessibility. And you know what? In basketball, this makes a big, like any product, right? Because each player is a product. You can go to their Instagram and find out exactly what they're into, who they're into, and the NBA allows its players to have their own voice, which is even more empowering for their brand and for their individual products. So that's why they're not so much, you may be loyal to the Lakers, but you're more loyal to that person, and that is why Bron is going to be king for a long, long time, because his brand is the strongest brand in the history of the NBA.
Totally. What's up with, Jason and I are we're pretty serious about our fitness over here. This is not a fucking game, but we've never had the opportunity to speak to a professional athletes. So I want to hear, like, in your prime, what was the diet looking like? What was the routine looking like? What are we talking about?
Yeah, and also you mentioned your wildly fluctuating weight. I want to get into that as well.
Well, I mean, so the game of basketball has evolved, right? So 2005, I was 22, coming out of college, but I was playing like the center position sometimes. Yeah. So I was guarding guys like Shaq, Yao fucking Ming, gigantors of human beings. So I was like, okay, I weighed 230. I was like, do I need to get bigger? So then I got to about 245, 250. Then the league got way smaller. But there were still some big, tree goblins I needed to guard. So I needed to get a little bit bigger. And as I got slower, I was able to guard those big guys and still do my job. So like when I retired, I was 265. So right now I'm 280, which isn't that bad. If I lose 15, that's fine. If I don't, I'm fucking money.
So walking around, you're 280?
Yeah, 280-ish, yeah.
Damn. So I'm 6'9", and I weigh like 196 pounds. What is that? What's going on there?
Do you run a lot of cardio?
No.
He can't run. He looks like Big Bird.
Okay, so I'll tell you.
I do a lot of jump rope.
I heard, jumping rope is amazing. I think it's the most underrated thing of all time. But I did it so much growing up. It's like, when your parents only have like peanut butter and jelly and you eat it for a year and you're like, man, fuck this. I'm not eating another.
You're never trying to skip another rope in your goddamn life.
I'm trying not to. But if I could be 196, big fella.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what the weird part is. Like, you're not a fat person. I'm not a fat person. You're 3 inches taller than me, almost 100 pounds more than me.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I think it is, but I think it's also, I got like a 7'2" wingspan and I'm used to lifting and running. So like, even though I think I'm crazy out of shape after being a year out, I tried to lose 20 pounds. I got to, right after I left the league, I got huge. I got to like 302.
What?
Bro,
what were you doing? Just living good?
Oh yeah. Here's when you're used to working out 4 or 5 hours a day, right? Constantly burning, then you stop immediately and you're just enjoying life. Your body says, "Oh, we keeping all this, right? Like $3.99 at Payless, so you keeping all that, right?" So for me, I was like, "Hey, I can't do this." So then I went on a crazy diet, got down to 262 within 4 months. It was like it's just I can't enjoy nothing. Right?
Yeah,
I'm waking up, working out, eating some bullshit, right? Taking my dog on like a 4 or 5 mile walk, coming back to the house. Eating some more bullshit, like an avocado with olive oil. And then working out again, then eating. By the end of the day, I'm so damn hungry, I can't think of nothing.
So you're saying as a civilian, you were doing 3-a-days with like a meal plan to lose that weight?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just can't live like that. I can't live like that.
Well, maybe you should do. So this is my workout plan. So pull out your pen and pencil and pad, and if you want to learn how to really.
Below. I can't do that.
It does not involve any drug use other than marijuana, so don't worry.
Okay. I live in Portland. It's all cool.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, now all of a sudden.
All right, so don't eat breakfast, don't eat lunch, and then for dinner, eat whatever the fuck you want. You can work out, you can not work out. Whatever you want to do.
I don't agree with Jason's plan. I'm a little more strict. I see my trainer 3 times a week. I run 3 times a week, and we play tennis probably 2 or 3 times a week.
See?
So I'm trying to get a 2-a-day. I'm into a 2-a-day lifestyle, but unfortunately, I am not an athlete or a future athlete, so it seems like a waste of time a little bit.
Yeah. I think, you know what? For me, finding my rhythm, because I hate just doing regular cardio.
Yeah.
So like I used to never walk, right? But now I'll go on like 4 or 5 mile walks with my dog and I'll try to beat my time every time.
Interesting.
So that's fun. And then if I can't do that because it's rainy sometimes in Portland, I'll like get on a bike and then I'll just do like 30 minutes to an hour and then I'll write down how far I got and then I'll keep trying to beat that per that. And then I go to a trainer sometimes, but for me, if I get into doing training stuff, it's going to take me I want to go every single day.
It gets serious quick because that's your muscle memory. It's like, let's go. You know how to do it.
Yeah. I don't have a chill button. Once I start something, I'm like, all right, every single day we're doing this. And here's what I know. Just because I was always skinny. So for me, it was always like the weight room first, then basketball, then practice, then shooting afterwards, and then back in the weight room to finish up on like core, flexibility, all that stuff. Go home, recover, eat right, maybe get on a bike, do recovery, then go to sleep your 8 hours, and repeat that every single day.
Damn, this is my dream. I was damn. This is really what I'm trying to do. Except there's no sport involved. That's the unfortunate
Well,
part.
maybe a question that you can help me out is how can I put some more weight on that's not in the stomach area?
Because Channing, Jason's chest looking like a bird, bro. He got no chest. He got no chest.
I need tall man NBA muscles. I need to wear the tank and have women be like, damn, the traps are lit right now. The shoulder is too fucking wild. That's what I need to hear.
Shockingly, this is going to be wild. Do stuff like this. Pick 4 body weight exercises, and then for 3 weeks, do 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off for 5 minutes. So like pick a push-up. So every minute on the minute, you're going to do push-ups as many as you can for 40 seconds. You chill for 20. 40 seconds, chill for 20 for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Because that's cardio also. You're gonna die. Trust me, you're going to die.
Yeah, no, that's hard as fuck.
Then do like squats. Then do lunges. And then if you can't, do pull-ups. So that way, if you're small, people want to get in the weight room and use all this weight, but that's how you get hurt, right? And then that's why you're like, fuck, I hate the weight room. But if you can do in 5 minutes, 100 push-ups, 90 push-ups, you'll start to see your progression, and you're going to be built like how you want to be built, right? How your body's naturally going to be built. So you can be out here with crazy biceps and no shoulders. If you do a push-up and pull-ups, you're going to be fucking shredded in a month. Quick.
All right. Luckily for me, I'm the pull-up king.
He's shockingly good at pull-ups, and it pisses me off to know it.
No, it's no shock. I put in the work, just like Channing does. All right.
Well, in the new crib, do you have a gym in the new crib? Is that part of the remodel?
No, sort of. It's outside at the pool house, but it's like the pool house is now storage now. But pull up. There's a tree I also use sometimes. I'm out here like fucking Rocky. What was that? Rocky?
Damn.
Rocky 10?
Pull-ups on a tree?
Fucking the tree up. No, he's punching it.
I have big hands. I have really big hands. So that little pull-up bar feels like a pencil, and it hurts my wrist.
Yo, tall man problems.
Tall man problems.
Okay, back to the really quick on the whips. What car of all time, your entire life, did you fit in the best?
The truck I have now. So I have a Shelby F-150.
Okay.
And they only made, I think, 500 of those. You should look it up, see what it looks like.
What year? What year is it?
2017.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen those. And it's got that zoom.
Oh, super zoom, but like you can fit 5 me's in there. And like I'm just a big dude, but I like fast cars. But I don't want to unfold myself to get out that motherfucker. Right? So listen, you can't have the fastest fast car. You can have the fastest truck. So
all right. No, I'm learning a lot about life from you.
This is really helpful, and I knew that Jason would have a full line of tall questions.
So I have but also I have a twin brother who's 5'11".
Oh shit.
Maybe 6 on a good day, but it's weird because he's a massive basketball fan, and I'm not a massive basketball fan. I love to play the game, but I don't. He's like a super fan. He knows he knows what high school you went to and shit like that. So I was like, send me some questions, and he goes, I would like to ask him if he holds a grudge against KG for slapping his pepper.
Yeah, dude, nuts at me. Fuck that dude. I was a huge KG fan until he nuts at me, and then I was just like, you're not my favorite human being anymore. Like, but you went way down on my list.
But I feel like nut tapping is just part of being on the court. Am I wrong?
No, it is not.
No, that's a dirty player.
All the nut tappers out there, I'm not coming at you. It is not. It is a foul in basketball. It is a technical foul to touch another man's nuts with your fingernails.
And it's also it's unsportsmanlike conduct. It's from like I remember back in the day, like in high school, when like you get in fights with other people, and there was always a rule like don't fuck with someone's car. Like that was always like never do that. Like, you can fight somebody, do whatever, but like you scratch up the shit, you pop the tires, like that's dude, like you don't do that. And I think it's the same. Like if you hit me in the dick, and like the next 45 minutes are going to be awful, like it's going to fuck my game up.
It will fuck your game up.
It ruined me for a long time.
What's going on? On the court, you guys are whispering to each other, you're blowing each other's ears.
Is it normally all in good fun, or does it actually get fucked up?
You know what? Like anything in life, you just got to know. You got to know your audience. Certain dudes just like talking shit, and then there are certain dudes where we say there's a term that goes around. He's about that life, right?
Okay.
There are certain guys you just don't really want to fuck with because they might break your jaw, right? Off just off a general purpose, they're just an angry human being.
Yeah.
So there's been about.
We're talking about Yao Ming still?
No. I mean, I don't know. Yao Ming is gigantic. I'm 7 foot. He's 7'5", so he's probably the biggest in general human I've ever seen. But there are some guys that I'm pretty sure.
We're talking more like Ron Artest kind of people that are gonna like snap their shit and like, oh damn.
Yeah, you know what? But Ron Artest is generally a super awesome human being. I'm just not trying to get to see the other side of
Sure. Yeah. You ain't trying to get wrapped up in that.
Yep. Yeah. Kenyon Martin, Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah.
Shaq will elbow the fuck out of you. Shockingly, to who else? Matt Barnes would fight you any moment.
Matt Barnes looks like he would fight me at any moment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But like, Matt's a great guy. He just used to have a temper.
He's just dealing with some demons. Who isn't?
Yeah,
that's true.
Who else? Oh, James Johnson. You wouldn't know that name, but I think he plays in Minnesota or Miami. And he's like a 6-time black belt or 6th-degree black belt. He's like had actual fights.
Damn.
I think a rookie one time tested him, and I was watching this on film, and I was like, does he want to die? Get roundhouse kicked in his fucking throat. Like, there are certain guys that I'm just like, you know what? If you're having a bad day, coach, sub me out. I'm not getting punched in my neck.
It ain't worth it. It really isn't worth it.
It ain't worth it.
Well, also, before we got to talk about wine. Something that I actually know about. So you have a wine company. What's it called? Also, nice. Well, let me see that Nalgene real quick.
Oh, it's my CBD Nalgene.
Oh,
that's about the most Portland sentence you could get. It's like, hey,
this is the Nalgene for my CBD company.
It has everything we need.
Yeah, I just ordered my mushrooms in Subaru. Sip of my CBD Nalgene as I have my mandals on.
There you go.
Damn,
I'm like Jason.
You're a lot more like us than we realized.
No. So name my company or the brand is Chosen Family Wines. So it just came out a month ago. I'm obsessed with wine. I'm obsessed with like what it does to people in a room. I'm obsessed with like the process. Obviously you got to be obsessed with it if you're going to start a small business during COVID when you don't have a tasting room.
Sure.
So we're a 100% e-commerce brand. It's been amazing to see the love we've gotten so far. We don't do a lot. We only this batch, so this round, we only did 125 cases total of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. But like just seeing the impact that wine has, obviously right now the culture of America is kind of shitty. Everything is so divisive. It's like,
yes, it is.
Do you like oranges? Well, fuck you. You don't like apples. Like, no, I just said I want an orange. Like, what? Like, that's just not how I roll generally. Me, sure. I'm a people person, so I like to get my information on what people are really good at from them. Right? I don't want to read it. I want you to tell me how you've been successful. Anyways,
so you said you like what wine does to people, like in a group setting. You're talking about. Everyone's hanging out together, and you're pouring up, and everyone's loosening up, and you have some really important, amazing conversations. Is that what we're talking about?
Totally, but I also think, excuse me, when somebody brings over a bottle, like, and this is just from my experience, if you invite me to your house, I'm going to bring you a bottle that had an impact on my life, or that's a story that's awesome that I want to give you, right? If I just bring you a 6-pack of beer, it's like, here, let's drink this. For the most part, if I bring you a bottle, I'm going, for beginners, I like this label. It reminded me of the time we went to Sedona and we're tripping on mushrooms. Or I would say, hey, you know, this guy lives out in Portland. I heard you don't like Merlot, so I got you this. That's less than a Merlot. So, like, you have to think about the people you're going to be in the room with and that story of that wine. And most wine bottles in my world have some meaning. And so that's what I'm saying. And so even if somebody doesn't like it, it's not a disrespect. It's not like oh, this is gross and so are you. It's like, hey, this just isn't in my vibe. You can't take that personal. And I think that's how conversations should be. And that's how we get better. That's how we learn from each other is by saying like, hey, I may not like that. No disrespect to you. How can we make this? Like, how can we, work around this? Or next time, could you bring me white wine?
I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna figure out the perfect wine for you, and then we're gonna have a breakthrough.
And then we're gonna have a fucking good time because wine is delicious. It's like, oh shit, you don't like it? Good, give me a straw, motherfucker. Like, right? And it's just like it's nothing is divisive. If you go, oh, you taste chocolate, I taste plums. We're both right.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're
keep
right.
watching what we're supposed to watch, right? So, I've had great conversations over wine. I met some amazing people over wine. And then for me to be in this industry, being like a 37-year-old black guy from Arizona, doing an e-commerce wine brand and being pretty successful so far is pretty amazing. So
yeah,
I think in general, I'm trying to see if I can inspire a kid or two to push their way through, and to break into a pretty singular culture business to now there's so many. I think there's 4 or 5 or 6 NBA players alone that have their own wine brands.
Damn. Well, I wanted to know, you're talking, so it's only e-com, online only.
Yeah.
How does a wine company go about pricing their wines? Like, I've always been fascinated by wine because like it's all the same thing, and obviously the quality of grapes and where it's from and
totally
all that stuff. But like, why is one wine $100? Why is one $8? And every other price in between.
I mean, you could look at it 3 ways. Number one, how much are you how much wine are you putting out there? Right? There's
the scarcity.
100. Yeah. The scarcity. If you have scarce wine, just know it's going to be $50 and above. It has to be, right? Because the bottle alone is $20. A Pinot Noir bottle, the regular bottle is $20. A cork is 50 cents. Right? So then you look at the scarcity of that. Then you look at the what they call the varietal, the style of grape. Right? So Pinot Noir is usually, if you want a really good Pinot Noir, for the most part, it is $45 and above because that is the most finicky grape in all the wine world. So to keep up with that, especially to do it naturally with no irrigation, with no pesticides, you are basically creating so many variables for this. The work putting into this is every fucking day, and it is tedious. So the work and putting it in, that's also something. How long you keep them in the barrel, and a French oak barrel may cost $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000. Just the barrel. Some people use that barrel one time. So add that onto the price and that onto the taste. And for them, it's also the location. So the location and the soil and that taste is going to be extremely unique. So where we got our wine from, right, our Pinot Noir and Chardonnay is only 20 acres in the Dundee Hills. And our price is based on the originator's price. So we don't set our prices. We make sure our price is right even with whoever our winemaker is, his original, which is Longlow Estate. So for us, people are like, well, why is this? We only have 80 cases and it's really good shit. And it's basically because his is $70, right? We can't devalue him. If you get a collab, like and I'll just use Louis. So Nike works with Louis and Virgil. You don't see Virgil shoes, Air Force Ones, $50.
No, you don't.
500, 600, 700. So if it's scarce and they're already set the value at that, you can't undervalue somebody's art. So that's just kind of our thing. And if it's not you, I totally get it. Praise, come with it. Like, I get it. But if it is for you, get it while you can because it's an awesome product.
What's the price hitting? What's the Pinot hitting for?
73, and then the Chardonnay is 60.
Wow, Jason, I look for a couple bottles to show up. Channing's going to take care of you, bro.
So you also have a CBD company? Or no?
No, they just send me stuff because
Got it.
it actually works. Like I wasn't before I left. CBD wasn't legal in the league, but low key that should be fire, man. If I could use that, I'm not a big pill guy, right?
Right.
Makes one of us.
Right. But I mean, for me, I'm like, I would have been way better off using some of this stuff. So I'm a big natural medicine guy, seen a naturopath since 2009. So I'm all about, Eastern medicine and
honestly, me as well. I do a lot of acupuncture and cupping when I have any ailments, and that has always worked.
But he's also a fan of OxyContin as well. You know what I'm saying? So get you a man that could do both is what I'm saying.
For sure. A Renaissance man.
Yeah, I'm a Renaissance man. That's exactly. But I do think that stuff is it's also so affordable, which is something I don't think people realize. It's like a really affordable way to try to, tackle the problems, Dude,
the stigma on CBD is like, am I going to get high? You're like, are you fucking kidding me? It's just for your knee. It's not your whole body isn't going to get high putting some damn lotion on your knee. And even if it was, you should put it on both knees then.
Let's talk about your cinematic career really quick as well. What have you been in, my friend?
Movies?
Yeah.
Movies, TV, anything.
All of it.
Dude,
were you in Neighbors?
No.
Somebody, okay. Do you have an IMDb page?
Nope. Somebody gave you the wrong. Wait, motherfucker, were you talking about Nick Cannon?
No.
I would never talk about Nick Cannon.
I'm just kidding. No. Dude, shockingly, I met Nick Cannon one time. It was pretty funny. We both started laughing because everyone thinks I look just like him.
I see it a little bit but Nick Cannon's probably 6 feet tall at most.
I know. Listen, you can't compare me to anybody because I'm 7 foot. So that's
would you wear like the weird head wrap that Nick Cannon is famous for though?
Nah.
I heard that he might be playing Tupac in a movie. How do you feel about that?
I mean, put it this way. I have to give Nick Cannon credit for being so fucking underground successful. Right? People see Wildin' Out and they see these movies.
Nick Cannon's got paper. Nick Cannon's making a lot of motherfucking money.
So like we may see his duds up here, but then like honestly, like Ciroc vodka, right? I think just became below the top 10 of like most famous vodka brands. But just think, like Diddy was only making music to make that vodka brand better. That's where his money came from. So Nick Cannon is doing what he wants to do, but he's really making cheese on the underground, which I respect the shit out of. So anybody, doing what you want to do that makes you happy up top, but you still getting crazy bread on the bottom, fine with me.
Yeah, my stand with Channing on this, I have to agree. That's really what I'm setting myself up to do, Jason. You better hang on.
So Channing, now that you're retired, you're a family man. What are you spending your money on nowadays? How are you blowing the bag?
House remodel.
Look how the tone of your voice has changed.
Dude,
I guess we got plumbing on Thursday.
Oh, God, dude. No. It's just to be honest, my spending is really like I would say 80% wine.
Okay.
And then cross that. Before COVID, it was 30% wine. 30% dinners. I'm a big experience guy. And then 30% travel. Like I said, we went to France and we were there for 2 weeks. We went
the whole family?
Provence. No. Fuck no. Me and 10 other people. My brother came. It was crazy. Where we were staying, where we were eating, the art we saw, the food we ate.
You spend money like me and Jason. I would say that's
good.
I would say that. Yeah.
I spend all my money on. I loved blowing a bag on a nice dinner. That's.
Oh, dude, what?
Same.
That's the best
experience. It is everything. I think
But also, a guy like you gets everything that you need for. All the clothes are free. All that stuff.
Yeah. Used to be. right?
But
Used to be, but I mean,
there's a lot of things that us celebs, you know what I mean, don't have to spend our money on compared to the average walking around fella.
You know, it's just a little different. I love talking to, my equals. You know what I mean? Just we're able to have more open and
What about
conversation.
LA, New York restaurants that you're missing?
what's crazy is when I'm in LA, I usually let my friends take me out to a bunch of places, but no restaurant scene compares to New York. I'm sorry. Like, I just, LA, like in New York, you can drive 20 minutes and go from like Little Italy to Chinatown, boom, 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 right? So I love New York. I love Brooklyn. I love the fact that like I can get a bowl of ramen and walk. Like in LA, everything is so spread out. That's my only issue, right? And so New York is like, even you go to Manhattan, for instance, and just be like, all right, it's going to take me 20 minutes to get uptown, but once I'm there, I can hit 3 or 4 different places. And I think because New York is closer to London and the international scene is there so much, you're getting A1 joints. Like if you go to a Mexican joint, there are motherfucking Mexicans back there cooking. You go to an Italian joint, there are Italians who don't speak English back there cooking. I appreciate that, and I think they do it right. You can go to a little hole in the wall pizza joint, but this guy, Mr. Papa Giorgio has been cooking this for 30 years, and he's the first generation immigrant, and he cooking pizza like you were in Sicily.
He's gonna put his foot in it the way that you could not
put
get.
His foot in it, but that's what I like. That's like
well, are you cooking it? Are you cooking it up yourself, Channing?
I grill, and then my wife does the cooking. I'm more of a sit outside, turn this thing on, like smoky. Like for 4th of July, we used to buy like 150 pound pig, and all the just stayed out there, and used to put it on a spit. And we stay up all night drinking, talking shit, and then cook it up in the morning for everyone who stayed. It was tight.
See, that's my kind of experience.
Yeah. Slow cooking stuff.
Puffing on a nice hog leg at 3 a.m. Get the backwoods really opened up while you decant a 2014. Ooh, baby.
No, out there is a lot of whiskey. When you got to stay up all night, you can't be drinking $100 bottles of wine.
That's true.
You listen, you are whiskey and beers and dirty cowboy coffee.
Ooh. Now you're talking Jason's language.
This is grown man BI right now.
This is grown. He's on his little grown man. Channing, thank you for joining us. This has been a pleasure.
This is the best, man. Anytime. This is great.
A pleasure.
I learned a lot today, and more than anything, I was able to, bring someone to the table who could help Jason with all of his height problems. So,
Tall Kings unite, baby.
Tall Kings unite.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Channing. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. For sure, man. Thank you, guys.
Later.